Turn yourself in for Thanksgiving. No, turn yourself in. Turn yourself in. Oh, really? You want some of this? Click on. Come on. Oh,
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun.
Listen to Pavarotti.
Can I be your superhero?
Hello, welcome to The Revealing. I'm your host, Pavarotti, and I'm here to discuss the Idaho 4 case. And you know, it's interesting. The information that can be gathered from so many different sources in this case, used in totality, leads you to the truth, in my humble opinion. I've said it many times. Now, let me start by saying happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, to all of the members of this channel that I'm very appreciative of, to all the subscribers of this channel that I'm very appreciative of, to everybody that watches my videos that I'm very appreciative of, all the way down to the people with, with the POV block, that flip that POV switch. To everybody out there in content creator land, both big and small, skinny and wide. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody from POV and family. Tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I won't be doing any videos. It's a big time of the year for the POV family, and we really like to enjoy our Thanksgiving. I plan on gaining about 15 pounds tomorrow. And also, I wanted to get all that out because I really do appreciate everybody, and I hope everybody has a very safe and pleasant Thanksgiving. And if you're alone tomorrow on Thanksgiving, know this, you're not alone. You're part of the family, and we all are with you. I plan on doing 2 videos today. This first one's going to be kind of short because it's just amazing. Whenever I'm going through and I'm looking for information to complete a video, like the second video that I'll be doing for you today, one that's been a long time coming, I was looking for some certain information and having to really pay close attention to things as I looked for it, and something else slaps me right in the face, and I went, my goodness. And what do you know? It relates to the video that I put out yesterday. Video I put out yesterday that had been kind of haunting me for several weeks now was the fact that it is clear to me that in those forensic reports, especially in 2024 and 2025, there's another suspect, I believe a co-defendant, listed above Brian Kohberger's name. And that has never been disclosed to anybody in the public. And I find that to be very strange. But not so strange once I show you these next few clips, and then we'll have a quick discussion, and then we'll move on to the next one. Hold on to your hats, folks. It is insane.
I said I wouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because you brought up blood DNA of an unknown individual that was found, I think, on the handrail.
Yes.
Doesn't that necessarily not exclude Mr. Kohberg? What it may do is suggest there might be a potential other person in addition involved if you assume that that blood was related to the victims.
Yeah, so there was a couple things. I wanted to take a look at the complete surveillance footage that was put together that showed his movements from, a little after 3 a.m. to, 4:20, 4:30. And that's extremely comprehensive. His movements from, a little after 3 a.m. to, 4:20, 4:30 to, 4:20, 4:30 to, 4:20, 4:30 to, 4:20, 4:30
All right, let's see if I can't wrap this in a Thanksgiving bow for you. You see, the first time that I watched that interview with Olivia Gonzalez, I didn't catch that. In fact, the only reason that I did catch it this time is because I was actually watching the transcript as I listened to parts of that interview because I was looking for something in particular. And when I seen that, I went, whoa. And just to give you a little context behind it, that was the interview where she had gone down and sat with an investigator in the case and the prosecutor, Bill Thompson, and they were giving her information to satisfy her curiosity about the case. And what she specifically said there, and she said it very low key in the middle of a bunch of, word salad, I believe she was trying to spill the beans on some things to people that were listening close. And I don't guess anybody else out there listened very close, including myself. Because what she clearly said was, I wanted to see all the surveillance footage they had of him from a little after 3 until 4:24:30. And what she means by a little after 3 is we know, and by the way, I think a lot of people out there, for some reason, they probably haven't followed the case all the way back to the beginning. When you get into like the alibi litigation in court and the filings around the alibi, I mean, we learned way back then that at 3:02, the prosecution had video surveillance of a white vehicle passing Floyd's cannabis shop. For some reason, people look at the exhibit list for the state now and they see 3:02 at Floyd Cannabis Shop and they think somebody went inside Floyd Cannabis Shop and is shopping. That's not what that is. That is video surveillance footage from Floyd's Cannabis Shop of the road that shows a white vehicle go by that the prosecution claims is Brian Kohberger's at 3:02. And that was going to be the biggest hinge point of the whole trial because that's where the 7 minutes comes in. Like the defense put in their alibi statement, Kohberger's car went the opposite direction for 7 minutes that they didn't list in the cast report in the probable cause affidavit. Therefore, it could not be his car seen on camera at Floyd's Cannabis Shop at 3:02. Just so nobody gets mistaken on that one. But she said she wanted to see the surveillance footage a little after 3 o'clock, meaning the 3:02 shot at Floyd Cannabis Shop. But she didn't say all the way up to 4:20 and 47 seconds because that was the very last video shot of suspect vehicle as it's speeding out of the neighborhood. Now, you could make a case for a few seconds later, you see it speeding away the headlights on Walenta, but that's still 4:21. But she didn't say that. She specifically said all the way up until the last time it was caught on camera at 4:24:30. She didn't just say 4:24, she said 4:24:30, which happens to be the exact time that the sport utility vehicle that was parked on camera on Linda Lane, 1330 Linda Lane, where you clearly see some figure walk through the Queen Road apartments, get into that vehicle at 4:23, and then now that the 1112 camera has been released, we now see it pulling out on the 1112 camera at exactly 4:24:30 seconds, just like she said right there in that interview. And I went, my goodness, she's trying to let people know by that statement that there was 2 assailants, one in a white car and the other one left out in that 424 vehicle. And that's probably why we haven't heard too much about the 424 vehicle. And I've gone through many videos about the 424 vehicle in the police reports because people think that that's the same vehicle that pulls in at 6:30. Well, I can assure you, if you read the police reports, the vehicle that pulls in at 6:30, there is a police report from a young lady saying she got home from work at 6:30 and she was never there at 4:30. And then if you watch the surveillance footage of them questioning people in the Queen Road apartments, they literally go to that young lady's door and question her, and she says she got home at 6:30. Those are not the same vehicles. Somebody else pulled out at 4:24, and Olivia Gonzalez all but said that was the other perpetrator in the case. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Post your comments, your thoughts, your criticisms. Till the next video, Piv's out.